Hello Sagittarius, this is your August forecast. We've got a very busy month ahead with something happening with the planets nearly every other day. So let's start out with August the 2nd, when we've got your ruler Jupiter coming conjunct with Mercury, planet of communications. And this is happening for you, this conjunction here between Jupiter, your ruler, and Mercury is happening in your 9th house, Sagittarius. This is a wonderful time for going into higher education, for improving your skills, for studying for something. It's a wonderful time for travel, planning a really big trip, a trip of a lifetime that you've been dreaming of, Sagittarius of course. And also it's a very good time for looking at ways in which you can share your wisdom, the things that you've learned. How can you pass that on? It's also a good time for doing anything with languages, with the written word, with the spoken word, with coaching, teaching, mentoring. All these things are aspected with this Jupiter coming together with Mercury. I've got to give you due warning. Be careful you don't shoot your mouth off. Sometimes a tendency for Sagittarius to do that anyway, because you are, shall we say, brutally honest sometimes, if you just say it as you see it. So just be aware that when those two planets come together, you may blurt something out and then afterwards say, whoops, but just you've had warning. Now on the 8th of the month, Mercury again, very busy this month, making a trine aspect, a very beneficent, lovely aspect with Uranus. Now, Mercury is the lower mind. It's our everyday mind that says, what do you want for dinner tonight? Have you put your socks out? All those kinds of things. And Uranus is the divine mind, the higher mind. The mind, if you like, of God or whatever you want to call it. And when these two come into harmonious aspect, as they are coming on the 8th of August, this is a wonderful time for inspiration, for magical ideas that come to you for solving a problem that's really been bothering you for a long time. This will be great for you connected with anything to do with a business idea, a new business idea that could be suddenly very profitable for you, a business idea that could have to do with something international, some kind of an international flavour to it. It could also be suddenly finding yourself something happening with a child suddenly. You could maybe get pregnant suddenly, or have a child at an unexpected time, shall we say. This is also a wonderful inspiration for your creativity. So you are very creative, you're a fire sign, so really great opening for if you've been feeling stuck with your creativity, whoosh, this could open those floodgates for you. Now, on the 10th of August, we have got a full moon happening in Aquarius, and it's happening in your 3rd house. Always the full moon opposite the sun at the time, so we've got all this going on in Leo and this full moon in your 3rd house. So, Sagittarius, this is shining a light for you to look at, well, what else do I need to learn? Many of you are eternal students anyway, you love learning, but this is shining a light on, maybe there are some skills that you need to learn. Maybe there's a course you could do. It's also a really good time for looking at your neighbourhood, where you're living. How comfortable are you in the neighbourhood that you're in? Have you made any connections with the people around you? It should be good for short journeys, short trips, connecting with people who are close by. And on the 13th of August, we've got Venus, planet that rules your finances and your love, coming into this 9th house as well. So much happening in this 9th house, and the 9th house has everything to do with higher learning, spiritual learning, your spirituality, and of course with Venus coming there, you could meet somebody from overseas. Could be a love relationship, a romance, certainly, because on the 18th of the month, we've got your ruler, Jupiter, coming conjunct with Venus. So this energy is very powerful. You really could meet somebody from overseas and get into a relationship. It could equally be a really good spiritual connection. You could meet a wonderful mentor, or you could mentor somebody. And this could also be some good news as far as a court case is concerned, anything legal. The downside of this, there's always a downside potentially, depending how you use these energies, is that you have to watch that you're not feeling a sense of entitlement. You know, I'm due this should be happening, why is it not happening? No, rather use this more as being more generous. The more generous you are, eventually what goes around does come around. On the 16th of August, we've got Mercury changing sign. It goes into Virgo and comes into your 10th house. So this is a really good time for speaking out at work, for saying something, maybe for writing something, for getting something out there. It's also a very good time for doing any kind of research into your career, into your work. What's happening in this field? Do I need to get more up to date with my field? Do I need to renew what I'm doing in some way? And then on the 24th of August, the Sun comes into this 10th house of career. And on the 25th of August, we've got a new moon in Virgo, also in the 10th house of career. So we've got two different activities largely happening this month, which is the 9th house that's being triggered, which is learning, studying, sharing information, teaching, writing, publishing, travelling, and your spiritual side. And then this 10th house getting activated towards the end of the month, which is, with the new moon there, new beginnings for your career. New direction possibly. Where do you want to take it now? The Sun is shining a light on it. So it's saying, okay, now put some focus into it, Sagittarius. Time to put some focus on it and time to learn if necessary, to learn some extra skills or to just present what you're doing slightly differently so that you've got an edge, and also because you're a fire sign so that you keep yourself interested, because you need to be kept interested and motivated. Jupiter, Venus and Jupiter coming together, especially Jupiter being your ruler. You might want to buy a lottery ticket at this time, you never know. It could be lucky, especially around the 18th of this month. Now, the more challenging aspect that we've got for the last couple of weeks of this month is Satin conjunct Mars. Since you're a fire sign, Mars, you know, you do tend to be impatient. And Mars by nature is an impatient planet. It wants things yesterday. So you're going to feel, part of you is going to feel like, yes, I want to go ahead. And Saturn will be kind of like holding you back a little bit, maybe. Kind of saying to you, you know, Saggy, you can't spread yourself too thin. Many of you have a tendency to spread yourself, scatter your energies because you're just interested in so many different things. Saturn wants you to make a plan and to stick at it. And if you'll do one thing at a time, you're going to be able to accomplish so much. So keep that in mind. It's not a bad aspect as long as you use it constructively. And keep in mind, so we've got this as our challenging aspect, and then of course our helpful aspect as well happening this month. So the idea, if you can do it, is to bring the seriousness into your life and focus on one thing at a time and really be productive, and at the same time bring that pleasure, the jovial side of you, the fun, the generous side of you. Make sure there's a really good balance between the two. So there you have it. I wish you a great month. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, commenting. Bye for now.